Hi everyone, welcome back to Yoga with Rosie. My name is Rosie and today we're going to be doing yin yoga in bed. So I've been doing my bed series for the past couple of weeks and they seem to be going down quite well. So I'm going to continue with this class and just do some different poses for you today. So this is going to be very slow, very relaxing, restorative yin yoga. So the point of yin yoga is to relax into the pose. So a lot of the time with vinyasa yoga, you kind of move into a pose, maybe hold it for 5 seconds, move into the next pose, and you tend to push yourself to really get the maximum you can out of that pose in that 5 to 10 seconds. Whereas with yin yoga, we're going to hold things for maybe a minute or two, maybe even a little bit longer. So I have my phone here so I can keep an eye on the time in terms of, how long we hold each pose for. So I'm just going to run you through a couple of different poses. I really hope you enjoy this class. So we're going to start off in a seated position. Now this can either be cross-legged or you can sit in hero's pose on your legs like this. So either way, whatever feels best for you today, we're just going to do that. I'm actually going to sit cross-legged again. And we're just going to start off by centering ourselves, by connecting to ourselves, to our breath, and hopefully feeling a little bit more grounded. So you might want to close your eyes. Maybe shrug your shoulders up and then back and down. And just let your arms relax. So your hands can come onto your knees, maybe onto the bed next to you, into your lap. Just somewhere comfortable so that your arms can fully relax. Shoulders are away from your ears. Your chest is lifted, your spine is straight, so you're not slumped over. Your spine is nice and straight. Chest is lifted, shoulders are back. I'm just going to take a couple of moments here to disconnect from the day. Disconnect from whatever it is you've been going through recently, good or bad. We're just here to take some time for ourselves. So I invite you to slow down your breathing, taking deeper inhales and longer exhales. As you're breathing in and out, start to make your exhales longer than your inhales. So if you inhale for a count of 4, maybe exhale for a count of 6 or 7. So we're going to do this on our own. I feel like sometimes when teachers count breath work, it's hard to follow along. Maybe it's too long, maybe it's too short. So I'm going to leave this up to you. Just making sure that your exhales are longer than your inhales. And what this will do is calm down your body and start to put you in a more relaxed state. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, try to inhale fully. So not just a normal inhale that you take during the day. This is a nice deep inhale. Maybe you want to inhale through your tummy and through your chest. Really, really filling up as much as you can. And same with the exhale, you want to make the exhale nice and long and slow, but really emptying out all of that air that's in there, all of the air in your tummy and in your chest. Really push it all out. If you like to set an intention when you do yoga, now could be the perfect time to do that. So maybe your intention is to be present, Maybe your intention is to have some me time. Maybe your intention is to relax. Or maybe you have a different intention. So whatever your intention is today, now is a good time to set that for yourself as we begin to open our eyes, and we're going to start to move. So the first thing I'd like to do is just to sway from side to side. So just find some gentle movement in your spine, swaying from side to side. Remembering to breathe. Maybe your sways want to now turn into circles. So circling in one direction. As I'm doing these circles, I really like to mobilize my spine. So I'm really curving on the way back around here and then extending through the front. This feels good for me personally, just to kind of wake up my spine and finding some movement here. Let's go back around the other way. So again, I like to really involve my spine, find some movement, make some shapes. So doing what feels good for you today. And back to center. So we're going to start in Baddha Konasana, which is one of my favorite poses. So if you bring the soles of your feet together, and as we do yin yoga, like I said, we're going to hold the poses for maybe 2 minutes, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit longer. But the idea is to go to about a 5 out of 10. So if in vinyasa, you maybe go to an 8 or a 9 out of 10 and you really push yourself, this should be about a 4 or 5. So you're not really exerting yourself. You shouldn't be causing any pain. It's just more about relaxing into the pose. And I feel like after kind of 30 seconds, your body kind of relaxes a little bit more. So as you inhale, take in a deep breath, and as you exhale, try to relax your body a little bit deeper. So we're going to start off with Baddha Konasana. So your feet are joined together, the soles of your feet are touching, and your knees are out to the sides. If you would like to use some cushions, if you have them on the bed with you, you can pop these either side as well. And then just start to lean forwards. So something I like to do is actually press my elbows onto my knees, so that my hips open a little bit further, and just start to lean forwards, keeping your back straight and keeping your chest lifted. Again, we're not pushing this at 100%. This should be about a 4 or 5 out of 10. So you're just gently leaning forwards, opening your hips, remembering to breathe. And like I said, take deep inhales. And on the exhale, see if you can just relax. Just notice any tension. So I felt tension in my arms then, so I just relaxed my arms. You might feel some tension in your fingers, just relax your fingers. I'm feeling tension in my neck, so I'm going to relax my neck. So just kind of notice how your body feels and try to release any tension that you might feel. So that almost like gravity is doing the work here. You're not pulling yourself down to your feet. There's no tension. It's just, you're just hanging out, just relaxing. Start to notice where your body was at the beginning of this pose, and maybe you've moved slightly. Maybe you've deepened the stretch slightly because your muscles are starting to relax. Maybe your hips have relaxed, your knees are closer to the bed. Maybe your chest is further down. maybe you can't notice any changes, and that's completely fine as well. Remembering to breathe. And if throughout this practice your mind starts to get busy, just focus on your breath. Focus on your inhales and exhales. And focus on finding any tension in your body and trying to release it with the exhales. So we really want to connect with our body, connect with our breath. Let's hold it for 15 more seconds. And we can start to press our hands and make our way back up. So that then was about 4 minutes in that pose, which is kind of what we want to be doing, is just to start a pose and then relax into it and just notice any changes that might occur. So next what I'd like to do is to straighten our legs out in front of us, and we're just going to lean forwards. So I personally find it really hard to sit straight and to reach my toes. So what I'm actually going to do is place a cushion underneath my legs, underneath my knees. Make sure that my toes are pointing upwards, and I'm just going to fold forwards. So this isn't like a big stretch, it's nothing, you know, strenuous. I'm just going to lean forwards. I might keep my toes up, I might actually relax my toes. I don't know how I feel today. So again, this is your practice. I'm just giving you advice, I'm just leading you, but do what feels best for you. So I place this here just to support my legs, but it also means that I can get a deeper stretch, because this pose will stretch your hamstrings and lower back, and I feel like I just get more support, especially for yin yoga, doing this pose with a cushion underneath my legs. So I'm just going to start the timer again, and we're just going to lean forward. So again, notice where you are right now at the beginning. So deep inhales and long exhales. And just noticing any tension and trying to relax that tension in your body. Just letting gravity do the work here. We're not pushing or pulling. We're releasing tension, relaxing the body, and connecting with the breath. I'm actually going to hold on to my toes so that I get a little bit more of a pull forwards. But again, this is, for me, this is about a 4 or 5 out of 10. So it doesn't hurt. And it's something I can hold for a couple of minutes without being in pain or causing injury. And that's kind of where you want to be. So you do want to feel a stretch, but not so much that it's going to hurt you. Again, focusing on the inhales and exhales, releasing any tension. When we feel ready, we can start to sit up a little bit straighter. And now that was about 3 minutes. So as you can see, once you start to get into the pose, I feel like time just runs away with you. So once we've finished doing that one, let's move this cushion out of the way and come to a seated position again. So from here, we're going to move into child's pose. So if you come onto your hands and knees, bring your toes together and bring your knees slightly further apart, further than hips distance. And then you can start to lower back and sit back so that your hips join your feet. And your hands can stretch out in front of you or they can stretch out behind you. Something else you can do here is to add cushions, if that's something you want to do, just for a bit more of a restorative pose so that you're more supported. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to lean on these and start to reach my hands forwards in front of me and relax my body down onto the cushions. So again, I'm just going to start the timer and we'll be doing this for a couple of minutes. Remembering to breathe with deep inhales and long exhales. Remembering to focus on your breath and releasing any tension that you might feel. And when we're ready, we're going to start pressing up until we come to a seated position. Let's stay here actually, let's stay on our feet, and you can either stay with your feet down, or if you want to have a bit more of a challenge and stretch the bottom of your feet here, you can tuck your toes under and sit with a straight spine. And let's do this for a couple of minutes. So again, you might want to close your eyes here, but just relax your hands onto your lap. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Spine is straight. We're just focusing on the breath. Now if you're doing the version that I'm doing, stretching, you know, tucking your toes under and stretching the base of the sole of your foot, this one starts to feel uncomfortable around about now, for me personally anyway. But we're just going to choose to ignore the pain and actually just focus on the breath instead. It's already been 1 minute. Let's do that again, another 1 minute. This is one that does feel uncomfortable, but it's kind of meant to. It's okay if this one hurts, as long as you're not actually causing injury. It's okay if this one feels slightly uncomfortable today. "30 more seconds. Remember to breathe. Relaxing the rest of your body. Hands are relaxed on your lap. And when we're ready, we can come off there and maybe tap your toes on the bed just to release any tension that you might have caused then. Perfect. So let's come back down to a seated position. So the next pose I want us to try is Cobra. So for this one, you want to lay on your front. So lay on your tummy. I'm going to do it at a bit of an angle so you can see what I'm doing. And you want to bring your elbows and your forearms down to the bed. So your legs are straight, your toes are pointed, and your feet are down on the bed as well. And you're just lifting your chest here. So your gaze is straight in front of you, shoulders are away from your ears, you're not collapsing in like this. You're actively pressing away with your shoulders, pressing your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to stay here for a couple of moments, a couple of minutes. Again, if you do want to close your eyes, you can do. Just focusing on the deep inhales and long exhales. Making sure you're not causing any serious pain. This one should be around a 5, 4 or 5 out of 10. This shouldn't be super intense or causing any discomfort really. And if it is, maybe lower yourself down so that you are comfortable. When we feel ready, I'm just going to stop that there. We're going to move into a half frog. So what we want to do for this pose is to bring your forehead down to the bed. You can maybe even place your hands one on top of the other and bring your forehead down to meet those. And then you want to slowly bring your right leg out to the side, kind of as high as feels comfortable. And we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. You can use a pillow if you would like to underneath this leg. I'm just going to pop one there to show you what that does. So it kind of lifts your knee and it kind of opens your hips a little bit more. So once you feel comfortable and in position, we're going to stay here for maybe 2 minutes for this one on each side. So lower your head down, again focus on the breathing and focus on releasing any tension. So from here we're going to press back up into Sphinx pose and swap sides. So you might want to move the cushion if you use that on the right side. So again, bring the cushion next to you and bring your left knee up and onto the cushion, and we're going to relax down again for another 2 minutes on this side. So again, bringing your hands together and your forehead to meet your hands, relaxing down and concentrating on your breathing and your inhales and your exhales and releasing any tension that you might feel. when we're ready, we're going to press back up into a Sphinx pose. And I have one more pose I'd like to do today. So I'm just going to come up into a sitting position. And I'm actually going to lay down on a pile of pillows. It's a really great chest opener and heart opener. So you can decide how many pillows you would like to use. I might try with 2, but I do have a third one here just in, actually I'm going to try 3. Let's try it. So what you want to do is set up the pillows so that they are one on top of the other lengthways. And you really want to bring your lower spine to the start of the pillows and start to lower yourself back so that your spine is resting on the pillows, including your head. And you can go ahead and rest your arms down by your side. Now your feet can either be in Baddha Konasana, so that the soles of your feet are together and your knees are out to the sides. Maybe you want to keep your legs straight. I'm actually going to keep my legs straight today for this one. And this one is a really, really lovely restorative pose. So finding the height that feels good for you. 3 pillows actually feels brilliant because it's not too low. It's actually quite supportive and quite high. And I'm just relaxing back. Your head should be relaxed as well onto the pillows. You don't want your head dangling off the end. And again, we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. And we're just going to focus on our inhales and exhales. Relaxing into the pose and releasing any tension that you might feel. This is a great pose just before bed because it really relaxes you. You can stay in this pose for as long as you want to and then get snuggled up in bed and go to sleep. So this is a great one for the evenings, just to calm down and relax your body. And it's also a tiny bit of a back bend and a chest opener as well. So your shoulders should be down, away from your ears, and maybe even off the sides of the pillows. And your palms can either be facing upwards or facing downwards if you want to feel more grounded. And again, there are different options in terms of your feet. So you can play about and try different ones until you find one that feels comfortable for you. And that might change from day to day. It's just a case of doing what feels best for you in that moment. And again, focusing on the breath. Deep inhales and long exhales. So as this is the last pose that we're going to do today, you might want to reconnect with your intention that you set at the beginning of the class. Just remind yourself of your intention. So I invite you here to take one last inhale and exhale together. So empty your lungs. Let's take one long inhale. And long exhale. If you're going to sleep after this class, feel free to get under the duvet, get yourself comfortable and go to sleep. Otherwise, let's start to bring ourselves up to a seated position. Again, resting your hands on your knees. Maybe you want to keep your eyes closed. And we're just going to take a couple more moments here just to breathe and reconnect with our body and our breath. Slowly opening our eyes. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today. I really hope you enjoyed this YIN restorative yoga in bed. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to give me a thumbs up down below. That really does help me out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post yoga videos most Mondays. I want to say every Monday, it's most Mondays. And there's a whole playlist. I will leave it linked down below as well if you want to practice some different classes with me. I have lots of different ones, including more bed yoga. Thank you so much, and I will see you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.